The mansion stood quietly on the edge of the city, tall, glass walls reflecting the morning sun, and silence echoing through every corner like a haunting memory. Inside lived one of the richest men in the country, Ethan Miller, a self-made millionaire known for his empire and his heart of stone. But behind his success was a story few knew, the story of his little boy, Lucas, who hadn't spoken a single word since the day his mother died. Lucas was 6 years old, with soft brown hair and eyes that carried oceans of pain. He would sit by the window for hours, staring into nothingness, clutching a small teddy bear that once belonged to his mother. No laughter. No sound. Just silence. Doctors called it selective mutism, triggered by trauma. But Ethan didn't care for medical terms. He cared about one thing only, his son's pain. He had tried everything, therapy, doctors, toys, even trips to exotic places, but Lucas remained trapped in his own quiet world. Ethan's mansion, though filled with luxury, felt emptier than ever. Then one morning, as Ethan sat in his office reviewing files, his assistant entered. "Sir, the agency sent a new nanny for Lucas. They said she has experience with children who have emotional trauma." Ethan didn't even look up from his papers. "Fine. Let her start today," he said coldly. That's how Anna entered their lives. Anna was in her late 20s, gentle-faced, with kind eyes that spoke more than words. She wasn't intimidated by Ethan's wealth or the mansion's cold walls. When she first met Lucas, he sat by the window as usual, holding his teddy, eyes blank. Anna quietly walked to him, sat on the floor beside him, and started humming softly, a lullaby, the kind a mother would sing. Lucas didn't react at first. But Anna didn't stop. She placed a small toy car near his feet and whispered, "You don't have to talk to me, Lucas. I'll talk to you." Every day, she returned to that same spot, speaking to him about the world, about colors, about how the wind whispered through the trees. Ethan, watching from the corridor, felt an unfamiliar tug in his chest. He had seen dozens of nannies come and go, giving up after a week. But this woman, she was different. Days turned into weeks. Lucas began to follow Anna silently around the garden. He'd watch her feed the birds, paint pictures, and sometimes laugh quietly to herself. And one morning, something changed. Anna was cleaning the backyard fountain when she slipped on the wet stones and fell. The sound startled Lucas. He ran toward her, panic flashing in his eyes. She smiled despite the pain. "It's okay, sweetheart. I'm fine." Lucas froze. For a moment, his lips trembled, as if he wanted to say something. But he couldn't. That evening, Ethan called Anna to his study. "You've done something no one else could," he admitted, his voice softer than usual. "He follows you now. That's progress." Anna smiled faintly. "He doesn't need someone to treat him like a patient, Mr. Miller. He needs someone to love him." That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. Her words echoed in his mind. He had built an empire to protect himself from pain, but in doing so, he had forgotten how to heal the pain of the one who needed him most. The next morning, Anna prepared breakfast in the kitchen. Lucas came in quietly, sat at the table, and watched her cook. She smiled and said, "Good morning, Lucas." He didn't respond, but his eyes followed her hands as she made pancakes shaped like stars. "These are for you," she said warmly, placing them on his plate. For the first time, Lucas took a bite without being asked. Anna's eyes filled with tears. Ethan, standing near the doorway, saw it all. Something inside him broke, the wall he had built for years. He whispered to himself, "Maybe she's the one who can save him." Days passed. Anna filled the house with warmth, music, laughter, and colors. She would paint with Lucas, plant flowers, and sometimes just sit quietly beside him under the tree where his mother used to sit. Slowly, Lucas began to smile. One evening, it started to rain. Anna took Lucas outside, holding an umbrella. "You know," she said gently, "rain is the sky's way of washing away sadness." Lucas looked up, letting a few drops fall on his face. For the first time in years, he giggled, a small, fragile sound that made Anna freeze. From the balcony, Ethan heard it too. He rushed downstairs, heart pounding. He saw his son laughing softly in the rain, holding Anna's hand. It was the most beautiful thing he had seen since his wife's death. That night, Ethan couldn't help but thank Anna. "You've given me something priceless," he said quietly. "Hope." Anna smiled. "It's Lucas who's finding his way back, Mr. Miller. He just needed someone to remind him what love feels like." But little did they know, the biggest miracle was yet to come. The next morning, Anna was in the garden, humming again, when Ethan received a phone call that made his face pale. A deal gone wrong, a betrayal by someone close, millions at stake. He stormed out of the house, anger burning through him. Lucas, hiding behind the door, saw his father yell into the phone and throw it against the wall. He trembled, his eyes wide with fear. Anna rushed in, kneeling beside him. "Hey, it's okay. Your dad's just upset. He'll be fine." But Lucas shook his head and ran to his room, tears falling silently. Later that night, Anna found Lucas sitting by the window again, clutching his teddy. "Lucas," she whispered softly, "you're brave. You know that. You don't have to hide from the world anymore. You can show it how strong you are." For a moment, Lucas looked at her, eyes glistening. Then something happened, something unbelievable. Anna picked up a broken toy car from the floor and began fixing it. "You see," she said, smiling. "Even broken things can work again if we care enough." Lucas stared at her, his lips parting slightly. He took a deep breath, and in a voice barely above a whisper, he said the first words he'd spoken in years, "Thank you." Anna froze, tears streaming down her face. "Lucas, you spoke," she gasped. She pulled him into her arms, sobbing with joy. Ethan, who had been standing silently at the doorway, dropped to his knees, tears in his eyes. He had waited years to hear his son's voice, and it came not through therapy, not through money, but through love. Ethan walked toward them, voice trembling. "Lucas, my boy." Lucas looked up, his small voice shaking but clear. "Dad." The word hit Ethan like a thunderbolt. He fell to the floor, hugging his son tightly, both crying in each other's arms. Anna stood beside them, smiling through her tears. That night, the mansion was no longer silent. The echoes of laughter and love filled every corner once more, and as the moonlight touched the glass walls, Anna whispered a prayer of gratitude, for miracles, for healing, and for second chances. But little did she know, this was just the beginning, because what Lucas saw her do next, something she thought no one would ever notice, would change everything. If you felt the emotions, if your heart warmed seeing Lucas speak for the first time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for Chapter 2, because what happens next will shock you.